If you're a mom on a weight loss journey feeling like you are burnt out and have zero time, zero energy, and zero motivation to prioritize yourself, this video is for you. If you are seeing my face for the first time, hi, welcome. My name is Jasmine. I have been on a weight loss journey using the GLP-1 compounded medication tirzepatide since January 1st of 2024. I am currently down right around 150 pounds. I share my weekly weigh-ins and other weight loss related content here. So if that's something you're into, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than my typical weekly weigh-in vlogs. I wanted to start off this vlog by talking about a subject that I have been thinking about quite a bit here recently, and that is the subject of motherhood and weight loss. I have shared here that my daughter, I have one daughter, she is going to be turning 2 this weekend actually, and around this time of year is when I really start to reflect on my journey in motherhood and everything I've gone through since becoming a mom. And for the past 2 years since becoming a mother, I have been on this weight loss journey at the same time. So today I just really wanted to have kind of a chill, sit back, kind of chit chat video, just talking about some of the ways that I personally have made it a point to prioritize myself and how I've been able to do that even while being a mom and being a new mom as well, because becoming a mother for the first time is probably the hardest part of the whole process. And I won't just say mother, I will include fathers in this as well. If you are a father or really just a parent in general, becoming a parent for the first time to a small baby and then going into toddlerhood and even beyond that, which I can't speak on because I haven't gotten there yet, but I imagine that it is just as exhausting and time consuming. And so I feel like as parents, it can be extremely hard to prioritize ourselves on a weight loss journey. That is what we're going to be talking about today. So grab yourself a nice little bevy. I got my iced coffee on deck, of course, and let's go ahead and get right into it. And I will be sharing my weekly weigh-in as well, but that will be at the end of this vlog, so I will leave it in the timestamps if that's all you're really interested in. But yeah, let's just kind of start with the basics here. So I have shared that one of my main reasons why in my weight loss journey, and really the whole turning point for me in my most recent weight loss attempt, was the moment that I became a mother for the first time. I actually was diagnosed with postpartum preeclampsia after delivering my daughter, and I was hospitalized for a few days due to that complication. And it was in that hospital stay with my newborn that I really came to the decision that I was going to change my life and I was going to lose the weight that I needed to lose in order to be not just the best version of myself, but also the best mother that I could be for my daughter. And so when I gave birth, I was over 340 pounds on the operating table. I did have a C-section, and that whole experience was very traumatic to say the least. That being said though, like I said, that was a real turning point for me. I very easily could have lost my life from the complications that I experienced. And so I think that was a huge wake-up call. And I think that was something that was pivotal for me in my, not just my weight loss journey, but also my motherhood journey, because it really kind of set the tone for me of what I wanted my motherhood journey to kind of consist of. And a big part of that for me is that I knew I was going to need to be able to prioritize myself. And so for the first 3 months of my postpartum recovery, I did not focus on weight loss. That was honestly just me focusing on recovery and taking care of my newborn baby daughter. But it was towards the end of the year, so I had her in September, and then in December I actually went and signed up for a gym membership. I was not cleared to work out, I don't think at that point, but they were having like a special, end of the year kind of sign-on thing, and they waived like the sign-on fee or something like that. So I wanted to get on board with that before the new year started, because I knew that I had a plan I was going to be starting a GLP-1 and I wanted to start working out at the gym. So I remember going to the gym with my newborn in her little stroller, walking up in there, and I signed up and they took my picture, and that was that. And then come January 1st, which was a Monday, I was up in that gym early in the morning doing my cardio, which is something that I had not done for months and months prior, because obviously I'd been pregnant and then given birth and all of the things. And so that was, you know, probably one of the hardest workouts I've ever done, and also one of the most liberating workouts at the same time, because I knew at that point that things were going to be different this time. And the reason they were going to be different was because I was now not just losing weight for myself, but I was also doing it for my daughter and for my family. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like the past 2 years have just been butterflies and rainbows and this unlimited supply of motivation to work out and take care of myself and lose weight, because they absolutely have not been. There have been so many ups and downs, and one of the biggest hurdles that I think I've had to really get over in my motherhood / weight loss journey has honestly just been the mom guilt that comes with prioritizing yourself. And this is a real phenomenon that I think a lot of women and men, fathers as well, can feel this way, you know, especially once you become a parent for the very first time. It kind of becomes all consuming, and so it's a little bit hard to kind of wrap your mind around the idea of, I deserve to set aside time away from my baby and away from my family that is specifically just for me and that benefits only me. And the reality is that it's not only benefiting you though. Taking time for yourself, taking time to work out, taking time to work on your physical health as a mother or as a father, it's not just benefiting you. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it is going to benefit your children, and that they are going to have their parent who is going to be much healthier, not just physically, but also mentally, and that will just make you show up as a better parent. So if you can look at it from that perspective, I think it can make it a little bit easier. But I definitely get how it's hard to kind of justify stepping away and taking time away from your children to do something just for yourself. And especially when they're very young children, when they're babies, when they're toddlers, and their lives revolve around you, it is very hard to kind of separate yourself and to not feel guilty about that. And I definitely have had times where I feel guilty about it. So the way that me and my husband have kind of worked our schedules, we work opposite schedules. So he works Monday through Friday, I work the weekends, but Monday through Friday, basically I'm home all day with our daughter. And for the majority of the past 2 years, he would get off around 5 o'clock and come home. And then by the time he gets home, I usually am dressed and ready and I will head straight to the gym. And I'll go do my workout. It usually takes me, at this point, I take anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half. For a good bulk of my weight loss journey, I was honestly spending upwards of 2 hours a day at the gym, just because I was doing 30 minutes of cardio and then going on to do strength training for an additional however long it would take me, and then like it would take 15 minutes to get to the gym, 15 minutes to get back, so that's 30 minutes. So factoring all of that in, I would be gone from the house from like 5 to 7 o'clock at night. And honestly, some days it's still like that. Some days I don't get back home from the gym until 7, even 8 o'clock at night, and my husband has already fed our daughter and given her a bath, and usually I'm home in time to kind of be able to lay her down as far as like reading bedtime story and getting her in bed. That's kind of the trade-off we do. I will say also though, now my husband does work out as well. He recently got a new job and he does get off a little bit earlier, around 3:30, and so he's able to go to the gym right after work and then still get home close to 5 o'clock. And so it works out for us. You know, we're kind of just flip-flopping back and forth, but again, it's like I realize he, as well as a new father, needs time to be able to go to the gym and to prioritize his health. And he's also been on a weight loss journey. He's lost a good like 70, I think close to 100 pounds now, and so he's been doing really well with it. So I feel like we've kind of been a team in this, and we've kind of both tried to work together to give each other time to be able to go do what we need to do. And the trade-off of that is that we don't spend as much time together in the evenings like as the combined total family, right? Because it's kind of like we're trading off. Like, I'm home all day by myself with our daughter, and then he's home doing the night shift, doing dinner and bath time and stuff like that. And it is what it is. I mean, that's what it is. That's what it's been. But at the end of the day, I feel like me being able to kind of get away from the house and go work out and not be here kind of dealing with all of the parenting things, it is kind of a break. And I feel like mentally that also helps me, because if you're a parent, you know it can be exhausting to kind of do the whole routine, especially when you have very young children who aren't in school yet and you are their primary caregiver all day long, and then going into the night. Like, it is exhausting and mentally draining. And so to be able to kind of take a break is, I think, needed, and I think a good thing, and something that we should not feel guilty about. I think since becoming a parent, I have kind of had to redefine what self-care really is for me. It's at the point where my time is very limited. So if all that I have time for in the day that is self-care related is to go to the gym and to track my calories and make my own meals at home, then that's what I'm going to view it as. I may not have time to take a bubble bath and go get my nails done or get my hair cut every 6 weeks. You know, I may not have time to do those more, I don't want to say luxurious, but those more time-consuming things that do take you away from the house for, you know, periods of time. I don't have a babysitter on standby, so I honestly have to view these other little things that I can do on a daily basis as my self-care. And so going to the gym and cooking my meals for myself, I do sometimes eat different meals from what I make for my daughter or husband. And honestly, I view that as a form of self-care, because I am making it a priority to keep myself on track so that I can reach my goals. And if that's all I have time for in the day, then that's enough. Learning how to manage your time once you become a parent is crucial. And obviously, I think this is a given, not just in a weight loss journey, but like in general. Time management with kids becomes so important, because as you well know, once you have kids, your like ability to get ready in the morning and get out the door and get where you need to be, it like basically you have to tack on an hour, get your kids ready and fed and packed and everything. And so I kind of have taken that time management and applied it to my weight loss journey, in the sense that I have blocked out specific days of the week and periods of time, Monday through Friday. After my husband gets home from work, I know that I have blocked off at least 2 hours to allow myself time to go to the gym. But this doesn't have to be a 2-hour time block. If you are somebody who can only manage to block off even just 30 minutes of time where you can lock yourself in the bedroom and do a cardio workout on YouTube, or maybe you have a treadmill or a bike or something at your house. If you're able to get your workout in at home in a 30-minute little time blocked area, then that could also work. Another option is nap times, especially when your children are still babies and taking multiple naps a day. It might be possible to kind of fit your workout routine into those nap times. And I know that's easier said than done, right? Because obviously as a new parent, you're exhausted, and when your baby's sleeping, a lot of times you also would like to sleep. But if you're anything like me, likely 9 times out of 10 you are not actually sleeping during your kids' nap time. You are doing other things. Like currently my daughter, it's her nap time and I am filming this video, and that is because that's how I prioritize things. And so I use nap times to get my social media stuff done. And so if you need to use nap times to get a workout in or to get your meal prep done or whatever it is, then being able to be consistent with that and make that a regimen can be very beneficial and very helpful. As a mom, I think it's also important that we are not afraid to ask for help when we need it, with childcare especially. I feel like a lot of times, and this is no shade to any dads in the comments section, okay? I understand that dads work hard and it's hard to be a father as well, but I feel like when it comes to childcare and the actual being there to watch the children, I feel like a lot of times does fall primarily on the mother, and that's all fine and good, but I do feel like as moms we need to be able to ask for help when we need it without feeling guilty for asking for help. And so that is why personally, when it comes to like my husband, for example, I will admit there were times in the past where I would feel kind of guilty because I would be leaving him to do basically the whole nighttime routine so that I could go to the gym. But I had to just keep reminding myself that, you know what, no, I have been home with my daughter all day, and so now this is my time. And yes, he's been at work, but at the same time, in a way, the bedtime routine is his time to connect with his daughter. And so I feel like as women, we should expect more from our husbands, and we should ask for help when we need it and expect them to step up and to give us the opportunity to step away and to take care of ourselves. And this does not mean asking for permission. This literally means having a conversation with your partner, because obviously it takes two to create a child, and then it takes two to raise said child. And being able to have an open conversation and make it clear that you expect them to give you some time to be able to step away so that you can take care of yourself and do what you need to do for your own physical and mental health. You should be able to have that conversation without seeming like you're asking their permission, if that makes sense. In the same vein, if you are a single parent, obviously this becomes a whole different conversation, right? And I'm not gonna sit here and act like I have tips for single parenthood when it comes to being on a weight loss journey and trying to prioritize going to the gym, because honestly I have not been there, and I imagine it would be extremely difficult, if not sometimes impossible. In that situation, I honestly think the best thing you could probably do would be to invest in some kind of home workout equipment, or maybe asking for help from family, whether that be grandparents or other family that could maybe help you with watching your child so you could step away. But yeah, I think just not being afraid to ask for help though, because I do feel like as mothers sometimes we just take it all on ourselves and feel like we just have to do everything ourselves, and we need to learn that it's okay to ask for help. Overall, I think just getting in the mindset that it's progress over perfection, especially as a parent on a weight loss journey, is so important. And I have talked about this in other videos, but really getting out of that all or nothing mentality, it's important for anyone on a weight loss journey, but I think especially when you have kids and young kids, I think just giving yourself grace and realizing that not everything is going to go according to plan. That's okay. Just plan for things to not go according to plan, and we're just going to keep on making progress though, and keep on moving forward, because there will be days where something happens, you don't have a babysitter, or your kid's sick, or XYZ happens and you're not able to get to the gym that day, or you're not able to get your workout in, or maybe you're having a really rough day, your kid didn't sleep all night, which means you didn't sleep all night. And so giving yourself grace and realizing that maybe if you're exhausted from that situation, that you're not going to beat yourself up about not sticking to your strict workout regime or eating the perfect meal plan. Just realizing that we are all humans and we are also trying to raise and keep alive tiny humans. That's an exhausting job. And so being able to prioritize yourself and a weight loss journey while simultaneously prioritizing being a mother or father and just raising a tiny human, I think is honestly something to be so commended for. And I really do look up to the strong men and women who do it every day, and including myself, and I give myself props. And I think giving yourself props as well is important, because we got to realize, like, this shit is hard. Like, it's not the same as when you were young and single and in your 20s with no kids. I feel like losing weight after having kids, it's a whole different ball game. And it's not even just the physical changes in our bodies, right? Which I haven't even touched on that, and that's a whole other topic, right? But also just the emotional, like, drainage and exhaustion that comes with parenthood and then trying to still show up for yourself. I feel like, yeah, it is a whole other beast, and not something that I can honestly say I was ever fully aware of before becoming a parent. Like, I don't think I was fully prepared for how hard it would be to be on a weight loss journey after having kids. Just remember that being on a weight loss journey is not taking a break from motherhood. It is a powerful act from within motherhood that can help you in becoming the best possible version of yourself and as a mother that you can possibly be for your children. So moving on to the weight loss portion of today's vlog, I did want to say, for anyone who might be new here, I do my weigh-ins on Tuesdays. I also do my shot days on Tuesdays, and I am currently on 10 milligrams of tirzepatide. I am in the process of titrating down my dosage of tirzepatide, and so today, I believe, I have to look at my calendar, I wrote it down, but I believe tonight I am titrating down to 7.5 milligrams. And I already talked about why I'm coming off my tirzepatide in another video that I will link somewhere if you want to check that out after finishing this video. So basically, I am in that process. And so that being said though, last week's weigh-in on Tuesday the 9th, I had weighed in at 193.6. As of this morning, I weighed in at 192.6, so that is a total loss of 1 pound for the week, and that brings my overall loss to 151.2 pounds, which is amazing and incredible, and I'm very happy with those results. One thing I did want to say is I have decided I am planning to change my weigh-in days. So I'm not going to change my shot days. I think I'm going to leave those on Tuesdays just because I'm coming off of it soon anyway, so it doesn't really make sense to change the shot day at this point. But one thing I've noticed for the past 2 weeks, I have been weighing in daily just to kind of see what my body's doing throughout the week and at what points I'm weighing in at my lowest. The way, and I've explained this a few times, but basically the way that I set up my calorie deficit is I have less calories Monday through Friday, like allotted calories, so that I can have a little bit extra calories on the weekends. So on the weekends, I basically have about 700 more calories per day, like for Saturday and Sunday, that I'm allowed to have to still be in a deficit for the entire week. So that being said, I have found that I'm actually weighing in at my lowest point on Fridays. So like this last Friday, for example, I weighed in at 190.2. And as of today, though, I am 192.6. So I'm up a little bit, which I honestly think is probably due to the weekend, because I did obviously eat more calories over the weekend, and then the weekends is usually when I'm eating more like takeout and processed stuff. So I definitely know that I'm holding on to all of that by Tuesday. And so overall, I know that it really doesn't matter because, you know, obviously my weight fluctuates day to day. And as long as it's trending down overall, that's what matters. But I feel like for my mental health, I would rather do my weigh-in days on the day when I know I'm gonna weigh in the lowest. So that being said, I have decided I will be moving my weigh-in days to Fridays. I have not decided when I'm going to be changing my upload day though for these weekly weigh-in vlogs. The way I was doing it is I would film these on Tuesdays and upload on Thursdays. But since I'm filming on Friday, well, not filming, since I'm weighing in on Friday, I don't know when I'm going to be able to film because I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I'm thinking the earliest I'd be able to film would be a Monday. And then as far as uploading, I would think maybe Tuesday or Wednesday I could get the video uploaded. So I don't know yet. I haven't fully decided my upload schedule, but just know that I will be changing my weigh-in day. So this week I do plan to weigh in on Friday, and I will likely film my next weigh-in vlog using this Friday's weigh-in weight. That makes sense, yeah. And so I don't know when I'll get that posted. It should either be Tuesday or Wednesday. If that's not confusing enough for you, I apologize. I'm not trying to make it all convoluted, but yeah, I just, after going 2 weeks and realizing like, yes, I am definitely weighing in like at least 2 pounds lighter on Fridays than Tuesdays, I would rather just do my weigh-ins on Fridays. Yeah, that is pretty much gonna wrap it up for this video, you guys. I am trying a new format. Let me know what you guys think, if you like the kind of discussion topic in the beginning of the vlog, or if you would prefer me to go back to doing it at the end. I feel like, I don't know, I'm trying to figure out, like I said, just the formatting of my videos going forward, because I don't know how I want to keep doing things. But yeah, I think I'm going to maybe try this for a little bit and cut out the non-scale victory and side effects portion, because I just feel like I don't honestly always have a non-scale victory, and I usually don't have any side effects to report. So we're trying to do things a little bit differently. But yeah, other than that, peep the ghosties in the back as well. Aren't they adorable? If you made it this far, leave a ghost emoji in the comment section to let me know. Other than that though, I really do appreciate y'all guys so much for watching as always, and I will see y'all in my next video.